students in pharmaceutical biotechnology. This is lecture number 14. In this lecture, we are going to see about application of rDNA technology and genetic engineering. In this, we are going to see different parts which we are going to study in detail, like interferons, vaccines, that includes hepatitis B vaccine, then hormones, insulin. So first of all, we are going through interferons. Interferon is an antiviral substance and is the first line of defense against viral attacks. So whenever there is any virus attack, this is the first line defense which is used against the viral. And the term interferon has originated from the interference of this molecule on the virus replication. When virus is replicated, this interferon will interfere, which means that the interferon, as the interferon is having an interference in the virus replication, that's why this is named as interferon, right? It was originally discovered in 1957 by Alec Isaacs and Jean Linderman, and was considered as a single substance. It was not considered as the big substance. It was only considered as a single substance. You need to remember the scientist name here as who originally created interferon. Interferons, if we continue, what is the structure? It actually consists of a group of more than 20 substances with molecular weight between 20,000 to 30,000 daltons. So it is a really heavy molecular weight, and it contains of more than 20 substances in it. All the interferons are protein in nature. You have to remember the uh, uh, what actually the interferons are, how they are protein in nature. Interferon are glycoprotein cytokines secreted by the host lymphocytes in response to pathogen. Whenever any foreign body comes in the contact of our body, it gets inside our body, then they are called as pathogens. And because that pathogens enter inside our body, interferons will be released or secreted, which will be stored inside the lymphocytes. Interferons activate or upregulate the immune cells by interacting with receptors that activate signal transducer and activator of transcription, that is STAT signaling complexes. This ultimately leads to clearance of the pathogen or clearance of tumor cells from the organism. So how does it work? We will see in detail how it is working, but this is a little highlight. Interferons activate or regulate the immune cells. They will activate the immune cells. Whenever the pathogen will enter inside a human body, they will activate the immune system. How? By interacting with receptors. They will push the receptors, and that will activate a signal transducer and activator of transcription, that is basically known as STAT signaling complex, and this will lead to clearance of pathogen or clearance of tumor cells from the organism. So the main method, or the common basic method, is by the activating the receptors or by activating the immune system. This is the basic method as to how interferons will work in response to the pathogens. So there, now we have to see is about the classification of interferons. How many types of interferons are available? Into two types, type 1 and type 2. Basically type 1 and type 2 are the major interferons, and these are classified actually on 2-3 bases, but two are major. Like first is type 1 interferon, that is INF alpha or INF beta, and INF beta, right? So these are known as you can consider these two different. So basically there are three types of interferon. So let's see what are these. All type of interferons have common ancestral gene in the eukaryotes. In eukaryotes, there is a common ancestral gene. Interferon will have a common gene. They are not different in mechanism, or they are not different in structure, right? Synthesis is triggered by viral or bacterial infections, and whenever any virus or bacteria will attack the human body, this will trigger the synthesis. As we have already seen the basic mechanism of how interferon will work, you can understand this sentence, right? Five subcategories are recognized. Five subcategories: INF alpha, INF beta, INFE, INFK, and INFW. Actually, it is small k, and also it is not E, it is epsilon, right? And INF omega, right? You can check when I send you the PDF of this particular subject. Among all these INF alpha and INF beta are most important. These two, there are these five subcategories, but alpha and beta are the most important. And at least there are 12 different types of INF, which we can see. At least there are 12 different type of interferons that are produced by infected leukocyte and epithelial cell in response to viral infection, which means whenever any virus or bacteria attacks, there are total what can we say, there are 12 different type of interferons that will be produced, right? Interferon beta are produced by fibroblast and epithelial cells during viral or bacterial infection. So you can understand about that, that there are alpha and beta. They are the basic pro-inflammatory cytokines that will be produced. We are talking about type 1 interferon, but type 1 interferon have a significant role in the innate immune system against viral infections. Both INF alpha and INF beta can inhibit protein synthesis in virus infected cells by preventing translation and DNA replication. The type 1 interferon also activate natural killer cells and increase the expression of MHC class 1 molecule. So type 1 interferons have really a wide role in activating the immune system against viral infection. And as we have already seen, INF alpha and beta, they can inhibit protein synthesis in virus infected cells by preventing translation and DNA replication. Once a virus gets into a human body, what it will do, it will try to multiply itself, it will try to create replicates. So what will interferon do? Interferon type 1 particularly will block the DNA replication of the viral proteins, right? And it will also prevent the translation, right? This goes in chain, it is in series, right? Like first it will translate and then it will block, right? So the type 1 interferon can also activate natural killer cell and increase the expression of MHC class 1 molecule, right? So this was all about type 1. We are now going through type 2 interferon, INF gamma, right? Because the first one, you can see it is INF alpha and INF beta. This is type 1. In type 2, it is what? INF gamma. Interferon gamma is the type 2 interferon produced by the T helper type 1 cells and natural killer cells. It stimulates the expression of class 2 MHC molecule in different type of cells. So these are these are the sources from where you can get INF gamma, and it is basically produced by T helper type 1 cells and natural killer cells. You have to remember this thing, right? Stimulate expression of class 2 MHC molecule in different type of cell. Expression of MHC class 2 molecules enhances the phagocytic property of these cells. So what will it do? It will stimulate the class 2 MHC molecule in different type of cell, and this again will be responsible to increase the phagocytic properties of the cells. So these are really important. It will also increase the antigen presenting capacity of antigen presenting cell, right? It will activate macrophages, can only kill invading bacteria as other parasites by the production of reactive oxygen molecules. So it is very well known that reactive oxygen molecules are lethal for any cell. It can be it can be lethal for any cell, either it is bacteria, either it is virus, either it is any microorganism, right? So it will activate the macrophages and it can only kill invading bacteria as other parasites, right? So this was all about type 2, but there is still one thing more. It also inhibits proliferation of T helper type 2 cells, right? Type 2 interferon, that is INF gamma, it inhibits the proliferation, which means collection of T helper type 2 cells. So this is a really concerning thing here. So this was all about type 2 interferon. The next we are going to understand is antiviral mechanism of interferons. Interferons are produced by mammalian cells when infected by virus. Virus releases nucleic acid into cellular cytoplasm. It stimulates the host DNA to produce interferons. These get bind to adjacent cells. So interferons are produced by mammalian cells when infected by virus. Virus releases nucleic acid into cellular cytoplasm. It stimulates the host DNA to produce interferon. These get bind to adjacent cells. Do you understand this mechanism? This mechanism is nothing but the same basic mechanism that we have seen in the earlier slides, right? So what will happen? Virus will attack the body. Virus will infect the body, and in response to the virus, the virus itself will release the nucleic acid into the cell's cellular cytoplasm. That nucleic acid will stimulate the host DNA, which means the human body, to produce interferons. These get bind to adjacent cells. Here they stimulate the cellular DNA to produce antiviral enzyme. So cellular DNA will be stimulated and it will produce antiviral enzyme, which will basically prevent or protect you against virus. The so formed proteins inhibit viral replication and protect the cells. As I mentioned earlier, that whenever any virus or any bacteria or any microorganism that gets into our human body, it will try to replicate, it will try to multiply itself in order to infect the whole body, right? But here what will happen? The so formed protein, which protein? Antiviral enzymes. Enzymes are nothing but they are also a type of a protein. So they will what they will do, they will inhibit or they will almost stop the viral replication, and it will protect the other cells to get infected. Are you understanding this basic mechanism? It is really easy to understand. It is believed that protective enzymes, which are also known as proteins, bind to mRNA of the viruses and block their protein synthesis. So this is the major and key thing to understand, that what it will do, they will block their protein synthesis. If their protein is not synthesized, then they cannot proceed further for infecting other cells. The action of interferon appears to be species specific. It is what? It is species. When species change, the whole mechanism can change. As we know that five fingers are not same, right? So the methodology can change anyway, right? Thus human interferon operate in humans. Other animal, dog, mouse interferon are ineffective in men. So you need to clearly understand, this is really interesting thing here, to understand that human interferon will operate only in humans, while animal also have interferon but they will be ineffective in men. So this is about the antiviral mechanism of interferon. Now we have to see the method of production of interferon. So first of all, it is the isolation of the interferon in early years. So how they do isolation? Blood was the only source for interferons in early days. The procedure was very tedious and quantity of interferon isolated was very little. Thus, as much as 50,000 liter of human blood was required to get just 100 mg of interferon. Can you imagine this? Therefore, it was very difficult to conduct research or use interferons for therapeutic purpose. So, isolation of interferon, the only method to isolate interferon in early years was blood. But as it is mentioned that in early years they used to collect 50,000 liter of human blood. And why, what you will get from that? Only 10 mg, sorry, 100 mg of interferon. This is really tedious work, and it will be a really and then it will also increase the price of the interferon, which should be released in the market. The second thing is production of recombinant interferons. Of course, when recombinant technology exists, you can produce the interferons recombinant technology. The complementary DNA, that is cDNA, was synthesized from mRNA of a specific interferon. This is inserted to a vector which is introduced into the E. coli or other cells. The interferon can be isolated from culture medium, and this is the basic mechanism of producing recombinant interferons. Sorry. So production of recombinant interferons is you must have already known that by preparing culture medium you can easily get interferons. You can create the replications, and then you can increase the quantity of interferons. Obviously this is also not that easy. There are few steps that are involved, like isolation of mRNA coding interferon from human. These are some steps of production for recombinant interferons, right? So isolation of mRNA coding interferon from human, construction of cDNA from mRNA using reverse transcriptase by reverse transcription mechanism, then fragmentation of double-stranded DNA using restriction endonuclease, that is basically known as RE, isolation of desired DNA fragment. This is not end yet. Application of the gene of interest, ligation of DNA fragment into suitable vector by enzyme DNA ligase, transfer of DNA into host cell, then screening, culturing in the host on a suitable medium on a large scale, extraction of the desired product, and downstream processing of the product. So these are some of the steps. If we go through the steps really, what can we say, in deep. First of all, the isolation of mRNA is really important for coding interferon from human. Then you have to construct a cDNA from mRNA using reverse transcriptase, that is RT by reverse transcription mechanism. Then you have to fragment the double stranded DNA using restriction endonuclease. What do you mean by fragmentation? Fragment DNA, you have DNA will be a double helix, so you have to create a fragments of them using uh, restriction endonuclease. Then you have to isolate the desired fragment. Whatever DNA fragment that you require, you will isolate those fragments, right? Then amplification of gene of interest. You have to identify which gene you have to make changes, right? Then comes ligation of DNA fragment into suitable vector by enzyme DNA ligase. So you have to then by using a vector you have to add the DNA fragment. Then comes the next thing, that is transferring of DNA into host cell. Once you have amplified, you will transfer the DNA into host cell. Then will come screening, culturing the host cell on a suitable medium on the large scale, extraction of desired product, downstream processing of the product, etc. So we were seeing about the downstream processing of the products, and these were some of the steps that we required in the production of rDNA derived interferons. So next that we have to understand is these two, that is production of interferons by by yeast and production of hybrid interferons. Actually these both have their own role, how you produce to using yeast. Now if I talk about the production of interferon by yeast, the yeast there is one yeast that is known as Saccharomyces cerevisiae, and it is more suitable for production of recombinant interferon. This is mainly because yeast possesses the mechanism to carry out glysolization of protein similar to that occurs in mammalian cell. The DNA sequence coding for specific human interferon can be attached to the yeast alcohol dehydrogenase gene in a plasmid and introduced into 4 yeast cell. The yield of interferon is several fold higher compared to E. coli. So this is about yeast. In yeast, there are a few yeast that are really beneficial when it comes to the fighting, when it comes to the recombinant interferon production, and compared to the E. coli, always the yield of interferon is several fold higher. So the next which one we are talking is about production of hybrid interferons. In production of hybrid interferons, there were lot of attempts that were made to produce hybrid interferon. This is the advantageous this is advantageous since different interferons with different antiviral activities can be combined to produce a more efficient interferon. You must have heard about the hybrid. What do you mean by hybrid? You combine two different species, and then you get a new species, right? Totally new species which has totally improved activity, etc. So that is known as production of hybrid interferon. Further, the glycosylation step can be bypassed and the bacteria can be used to produce the hybrid interferon, and hybrid interferon are more reactive in performing their function. So if you talk interferons and no, sorry, yeast interferons production and hybrid interferons both have a good effect on the stopping the viral replication, and they can also kill the virus. So there are some few therapeutic applications of interferons that we all need to remember. Interferons alpha, beta, gamma were respectively approved for therapeutic use in humans in the years 1986, 1990, and 1993. A Swiss biotechnology firm was first to market interferon alpha with the trade name of Intron. Interferons are used for the treatment of large number of viral disease and cancers. So it's need not necessary in your exam they might not ask the year, but you need to remember which was the first interferon that was marketed with the trade name that is called Intron, right? So this was the first application. Interferons are found to cause the death of cancer cells, as it was written in the last line also. Also employed in the treatment of common cold and influenza, show activity on macrophages. Interferons also promote chemotaxis for neutrophils. So these were some of the therapeutic applications which are highly required. If I want to proceed with major some other type, like interferons can also show some activity on macrophages, and they can potentiate, that means they can increase the phagocytosis, which we will learn in the later immunity chapters, potentiate adherence macrophages to tumor cells, and they can also produce potentiate NBT reduction. NBT is nothing but nitro blue tetrazolium, which is a chemical compound that is composed of two tetrazole moieties. It is used in immunology for sensitive detection of alkaline phosphatase. So these are some of the therapeutic applications. In our next video lecture, which is the continue part of this same video, please keep on listening, and we will see about the other two, that is about recombinant hepatitis B vaccine and insulin. We will continue about that in our next lecture. So till then, keep on watching the video lectures and keep taking notes. If you don't understand, you can ask to me anytime in the either in the comment section, or you know how to contact me, right? Thank you so much.